All right, so I am ready to paint my red, white, and blue floral, but I am gonna start with the thing that I love doing, which is my flowers here are in a ball jar, and I got this stamp at Michael's forever ago with a ball jar on it. Now I could take the time to draw it out, but I don't want to. And this is really nice. This ink, waterproof, permanent, acid-free. When it dries, and I use jet black, which I don't usually do, which is fairly quickly, it doesn't smudge when you put, you'll see as I add watercolors to this. So let me get some paper towel, and we're gonna do this very nice red, white, and blue bouquet. And I wonder, do I want to start with, I don't know if I want to start with the blue. I'm going to start with my purple flowers, which are my periwinkle. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll start with my signature flowers, or the ones that are front and center, which are these red geraniums at the bottom. So, let's see. Let me get some of this off of here. I had used my flat brush for painting the geraniums, but I think this time I'm gonna use my round brush, which hopefully, and doesn't negate the lesson I did before. I mean, it just kind of shows you a different way of doing these. Boy, it's windy. You can hear things kind of howling around out there. And I'm gonna do my cute little red things at the bottom here. I'm gonna start with that and let that dry for a second before I drop in the, go a little lighter. Oh, maybe not. I do find, here, drop some of that in there. Drop some of that in there. There we go. And this should be a little more transparent. Otherwise, it should just use oils, right? I want to be, okay. And this comes down here a little bit and over here. Yes, I know I talk to myself when I paint and I go back and forth. Some people say they like to hear mutterings of people when they're painting, and that one is a little too round. Okay, and now we're gonna come back in with my darker, I have a darker red, just down, not a lot of water, more pigment when you come in and drop in. I want a little more. Okay, and we've got dark under here. That's not spreading very well at all. The reds I find, or at least the reds that I use, I don't get the burst of color, which is, you know, sometimes fine. But I love the colors that kind of, you know, when you put them on there, they give you a little, like a fireworks show. There, we'll go. Put a little bit of dark in there. And there, that's gonna be okay. So there are the geraniums. Pretty simple, just dish dashing of your flowers. And now I'm gonna add the greenery a little later because I don't really care about it running in. So now we're gonna go in with the daisies, and the Shasta daisies I had a filbert brush. I don't know if I want to use the filbert brush. Yeah, because it gives you a kind of a nicer end on these. And I'm going to go in with, I'm going to do a very light, even lighter. You kind of go in with the lightest possible bluish purple that you can. Now, my daisies are, the way that I can see it, they're little half daisies right now with, let's see, the center's right here, which I'm going to add later. And we've got, oh, too dark. You don't want to come in there. It's got them coming like this. These actually are just kind of, there's one. And we're going to do another. Let's see. We just want the lightest bit of blue. Okay. These are very, very flat daisies, the way that I see them, which is okay. We've got, go like this. Got one just peeking out. Again, too dark. And I don't want it too terribly. Just a little touch here. I'm going to go over those with some acrylic white acrylic, or maybe some white watercolor. I'm not quite sure. We've got one hanging over the side here. We're just gonna Shasta daisies are bigger. There we go. Then just kind of go out like this, like that. Okay, gonna leave that like that. And I'm not gonna do the back side of the other one. So we've got red, we've got white, and now we've got my favorite flowers that are coming up here, which are the periwinkle. And as you can tell, I'm in a real periwinkle mood. So I've done them a couple different ways. I started with this Shinhan gouache with a mixture of lilac and hydrangea blue, which is very close to this color. I just love this color. And we're just gonna, we're gonna use the flathead brush because these flowers have straight serrated edges. So I'm not gonna use my serrated brush because I don't like it. And I'm gonna try to go in here, not super light, but not super dark. Here, we're gonna start with, that one was a little, there's one. I'm gonna wait a minute. They're really, I love these. They kind of are kind of close together and travel up this stem very close together. There's 1, 2, and then I've got a nice one back here on a different stem. I gotta keep these a little smaller. I'm going a little goofy on them when pushing too hard. Okay, we're gonna go up to the corner here, which got one. So I'm using these models for guidance on placement for my petals, but not, it doesn't have to be exact. Then we've got a little teeny tiny one hidden back here. There. Now, it still should be wet enough to drop in a little bit of dark to kind of travel up. Let's see. And this is just dark down here. It's not traveling as much. That's way too dark. That's a little light. Let's see. This. All right. So, I love those flowers. Now, we're going to go in with, I'm going to do a few more over here. We've got one here. Let's make it not super dark. They're starting to look sad already. And I mean, I don't know what flowers these are. They grow in the ditches. They're not ditch lilies, which is daylilies that they have all over the place here in Pennsylvania. But let me get that edge. And now I am gonna establish a middle in here because it's a little, that's still nice, and that might be a little dark. We can go in like this, scoot it around, and okay. So what I do here, I'm gonna get some, it's kind of in the front there, and we'll do the back of one here. It's a nice little there, and a teeny one next to it. And it's just a cute little one back here. I don't know, there's one coming off the side here. Maybe I will do the one off the side. I've got 1, 2, 3. This is going that way. And then I am gonna put in, I'll do the red at the end. I'm gonna put in some stems now, which are gonna be, these have kind of a lighter green, and I wonder if I should, let's see if the edge of this is gonna give me a thin enough. These kind of, these are thick, and these also have these like bottoms on them. I think I'm gonna go in, they are a little darker. Let's see. Tap that off a little. They're pretty straight too. I don't want to go into my flower yet now. Okay, here's what I do like to do that I forgot to do. I like to wet the bottom of this and have the stems kind of run a little bit. My water's about that high, and then I am gonna even tap it off a little. Let's see, and wet it again. And let that soak in for a few minutes. before I run these down. All right, so let's get the rest of these. And these have these neat kind of tubular, I know that sounds like a word from Santa Cruz, which is close to where I grew up, but I actually mean tubular in shape, not like a wave in the ocean. All right, it's got these neat squarish, I don't know if they are where flowers were. That's what it looks like, a dead like flower pod. But they're all over this, and it's a unique look for this stem. It goes all the way down to the bottom. Okay, and then also these. And I'm thinking, and continue to add these little, they're all over, which I don't know, I kind of like what it does to the shape of these. There we go. Let's see. This, I don't like the way this is kind of by itself. It looks like it should have something else coming off of it. So we're gonna give this flower a friend. Didn't really want too much there. Let's add a little. There we go. This guy looks a little goofy. All right, so we've got the red, we've got the white, we've got the blue. I think I could probably put, and this is a nice deep yellow, these Shasta daisies that I have here. I'm gonna put this in my little half circle, and there's a teeny tiny bit of circle showing here, and this is a sideways view of this one. So what I'm going to do, let's see, first I'm going to put a little bit of green in the middle of this, in the middle of that, and there's also some, I should even do a little kind of a golden, kind of a quinacridone gold in there. There. Now, I'm not done with the stems and the flower. Let's see, I end up doing most of this with my flat brush, which I've been kind of playing around with. I don't hate it. Let's see, these daisies have these. Do that. Okay. Actually quite large. And like this. And then the geraniums, those are also, they're actually not that dark. We're gonna come in here with this. Oh, we're gonna put them on our little geranium thing there. And then we're gonna come down here. Let's see if this is gonna spread at all. Nope, not really. Thought it would be wet enough to kind of, I mean, I could spray it if I had a spray bottle, which I do not because I took it with me. I could, oh, I'm just gonna leave it. Just lightly. Oh. Okay, this is coming in through here. I want a little bit of a blur in there, not a lot. Okay, so we've got this is coming down here and it's darker. These are all pretty thick stemmed at the bottom, not real thin. Okay, this one's down here. I see I have more daisies in my bouquet than I painted, so it kind of messed me up here. So I hope this doesn't ruin it, adding one more daisy. I want it really light. Let's see. It's just kind of a, let's see, I'm just gonna go like this. I just want to kind of squinch it in there. I'm gonna leave it for right now and then add, maybe have that be is the back side of one. Oh, this might run too much. The line's going that way. Okay, so we've got an empty area here in the middle where we are going to do, let's make it where this water line is. We're gonna do these pretty coral bells. And so we start out with a light pink. And we'll just go in with a darker pink. These are, now what did I use? Did I use this? No, I think I used this round brush. Or I might have even used, let's see, yeah, I used this brush. Because it's these cute little tiny pink flowers. I want it more watered down. There we go, we're gonna start with a light pink and these are, they do look, they're little coral bells that are on here. And they're tiny and they're pretty heavily clustered in some areas. I want them to look separate, not, they have these little sharp edges. Let's see. They're not multi-petaled. They actually look like little teeny tiny coral bells. So I'll try to keep these. Let's see, these are cute. I'm gonna kind of bell shape that out a little bit, and they go in every direction here. All right, try to make this not a weird, throw one in there because they are all over, and I've got one in front, so let's Oops. I don't know why I keep putting them in. Do that. And now, very thin line, really thin. So I'm gonna really water this down a lot. And it was even kind of purple. So I'm gonna add a little bit of brown or quinacridone gold. That was my dog, so sorry. Boy, he makes the noises. Oh, I just added way too much blue. I ruined that. Let's go like this. It's a very strong blue. Add a touch of blue and a touch of this gold. There we go. And water it down and test that out. Yep. Come in here. The stem is not super thin. Let me kind of go get this where it's supposed to be. It's got a nice central, I'm probably leaning in there, kind of trunk. Let's see. Make this even a little bigger because it is more thick. Okay, let's see. Let's now go off onto all these little, I have to add one or two there. These are very, if you have coral bells in your yard right now, they're probably doing this. They're so pretty and delicate. With these all kind of coming off of the same branch. Harley, stop snoring. You know, the rest of the day, if I'm not painting, she doesn't snore. I don't know what the deal is with my dog. All right, it's getting a little dry. These are all coming down to here. And this one, there we go. Now, I can add a little bit of dark to some of these. They're individual little flowers. They kind of go like this. This one should go here. Just gonna try to accentuate some of the bell shape. I don't want to give it a ton of detail, but they do appear darker. I'm just gonna touch some in there. There we go. Oh, except I obviously missed the top. There we go. So now I have another one. I probably should not just have this in the middle. We've got some that are coming over here. So now I'm gonna come in and do some of, you know, some compositional elements that make it look a little better. Except that doesn't, that's very bright. Let me see, we're gonna go like this. There we go. And let's try this again. I didn't actually use this one initially, so we've got a bunch that are together at the top. let's make it there. Now what's easy to do is when you're doing this, make them in a pattern that's not natural, like exactly the same distance apart. You don't want that. Okay, so I always particularly have to pay attention to that. There, and this next to that. It's got a few maybe hidden back here. Okay, now I'm gonna come in with this darker copper or brown, more purple stem. I'm gonna have it be a separate stem. So I come up here, come up to the top here, and even I should probably, it looks like it needs more coral bells, and it also needs to be a bit darker. There, and we'll do this darker. And it even has, it's got some pink flowers coming off down here. So let's add some and add a little color to some of these. Little tiny coral bells. And my dog's gonna snore for you one more time. Okay, and we'll do these little, beautiful little stems. These gotta go off of here. And I need to do some more, I think, over here that come off of here. It's like, I don't have them the way that, I'm not depicting them accurately. There we go. Kind of go off all different directions. There we go. And we'll do a little one here. There. Okay, that's nicer. Now we're gonna add a few geranium leaves. I have a few kind of sticking out of here. I should actually check my tape and see if it's rolling. I'm just gonna add, it's got these nice fluffy, and you can see it inside there. This is coming off of here, and there's not really one in here. Let me see. It's a little more blue. I should check my tape and see if it's still taping. I'm just gonna add these geranium flowers or leaves. I'm not crazy about this filbert brush when I'm not doing petals, but I'm just gonna suggest some light greenery back here. There are some like this. We do have greenery in here. I should switch to a not filbert brush. It's annoying when I don't want to be using it. All right, so that is, I like the delicate looseness of this. Now I'm wondering if I want to come back in with details. I think I might. For instance, we've lost on some of these. I don't know, do I want to? Sometimes I regret this. Maybe I'll use my very tiny liner brush and that's probably a better idea. So we lost some of the flat heads on here. So let's do some of the lines that come through. Okay. And these are also give them a little bit of that's a little too thick. But you can go like this. Lighten it. Some of these did that the wrong way. There we go. And these just have actually some very don't know what I did there. But, you know, some of your details at the end can help you. Sometimes things get lost in watercolor. And these have just a few little these kind of lost my little straight edge petals here. And there. I know that I'm gonna do just suggest kind of like when you're going back over your drawing with like a Sharpie, it kind of adds just this nice straight down. There we go. I am liking those better with a little bit of detail on them. I don't know. Oh, come on, Harley, stop snoring. There. Like that. Okay. Do I want to leave the one at the top alone? No, I probably want to just add. Is kind of like illustrated. Now, I had debated on if I want to come in here with the white. I can either come in with like Dr. P.H. Martin white. Let's see. I had thought about just coming in and doing some a little bit of detail work. I mean, you could, I don't know, it could make them look just fake and goofy. Let's see, maybe I'll come through the center and just kind of let the purple keep showing through there. Maybe using thinner lines is like what to do. Okay. Then we have this one's kind of running away from us. Let's see. Don't want to do a huge glob of it, but we'll kind of give it some directionality there. Direction. Let's see. Let's just do just a touch of and this one too is kind of what I will do is I'll give this definitely more some white with the purple showing through it. I don't know, you can still kind of see, like I said, I struggle with daisies. I don't know if anybody else does. Maybe we'll have to, let's see, we're gonna do the outsides a little more prominent. Don't want that. Well, I'm gonna leave that because it's bothering me. Now, let's see, let's do a little bit of, I'm gonna do a nice light purple. Let me wet this first. Why do I always do that? The shadow's gonna be, it's clear glass, so you're gonna see the shadow. We're just gonna do maybe the suggestion of like something that it's sitting on, which will be a purple table. I'm gonna run this out a little more. Keep that like that. Let's see. I want this to be not distracting. I'm gonna go a little higher now. My balance on my arm is a little off because of my thumb, which I'm sure I'm gonna have to have something done to. Let's see, do I want this purple in there? Let's see. I will use a little of this purple, a little of this blue. I'm just gonna float this kind of under here. And let it come out here. I know it should be. I don't think I want to add any of the red in here that was in here, but well, let's see. That's gonna be a little too dark. I should have done it a little more blue. And this is always, it's darker in here too. I'm just gonna go like this. The vase, usually I use a gray, so it's not quite as I'm thinking about even making this one of the pretty aqua blue colors that sometimes you see. Here it is. Yes, I think I'm gonna do that because I am not real happy with the starkness right here. So we're gonna go like this and make this one of those beautiful blue, which I have, kind of an aqua color. Didn't like the way that white was popping out of there. Yeah, we're gonna this is at the end kind of where sometimes I have too much fun and I just really enjoy kind of playing around at the end and seeing, you know, adding different elements each time you paint. Let's see, keep, put it a little, always a little darker down at the bottom. Let's make this go all the way to the edge here. There we go. Now that don't want that to be so stark. There. All right. Ta-da! We are done with our patriotic red, white, and blue painting. I hope you like it, and thank you for joining me.